The idea of travelling alone terrifies me. I've never done it. In the past, I've always told people it's because I like to share my stories with those that join me. But the truth is, the thought of being alone in a country where I don't speak the language, where I could get lost and not find my way back from, a place where I only have myself to rely on, scares me. But for others, it's the ultimate adventure. You see, when you travel alone, you have complete control. No debates about destination, no arguments over what to pack, and definitely no judgment about music choices. You are the captain of your own ship, and your adventure is only limited by your imagination. And maybe how much money you have.
Wizz Air UK departure to Ljubljana, flight number 5171, now boarding at gate 25.
We're going to prove that solo travel isn't just for the nomads out there. It can be for anyone, including me. Before I knew it, I was in Ljubljana, not Ljubljana. That would be ridiculous.
Welcome to Slovenia, where the robot uprising has started up. I think we have a shot at winning this one. I think this bus took me for a swimming lesson once.
All that stood between me and my beer was a short bus ride from the airport, driven by Slovenian Dons around.
Oh, for the love of God, find the gear, find the gear. There we go.
After surviving the bus ride from Fast and Furious 18, I checked into my unique hotel. No reception, no paperwork, just a QR code. It's so easy. It's so easy.
I've worked out. Then I push the door. Not pull it. This is so cool. So tiny.
Right, let's find some Aussies. To be fair, Brad did tell me where they were. Kind of.
They have sent me some very vague clues. First one appears to be a ashtray, which would imply that they're at a bar. However, there appear to be many bars around here, so no, there were no ashtrays on those tables. Clue number 2 is some kind of water. Now, I'm thinking it is either the river or a fountain. I don't know where any fountains are. I've checked Google Maps. It doesn't really say there are any. The hunt continues. Clue number 3 is to be a building. I don't know what it is because the only building that I know in Ljubljana is the castle that's on top of the hill, and it doesn't seem to look like that. But on closer inspection, the water picture seemed to have some kind of building reflected in it, and I wonder if it's the same thing. Problem is, I don't know what that building is, and I don't know how to search for it. Clue number 4 appears to be a screenshot of Google Maps, but it's saying that the location couldn't quite be determined, which makes me think that he must be in a park somewhere, because that always happens to me in the park. It does have a little bit of blue on it, which almost guarantees that it's the river. So I'm just heading to the river, and then hopefully I'll see something. Brad told me that clue 4 is the river, which he's saying is clue 5, but I don't think it really counts as a clue. I think I'm onto something. I think that is the castle up there. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the reflected building, right? So if we go down here, we should find it. Clue 6 is to him telling me he's on the Dragon Bridge, which I think is cheating personally, but you know, also I don't know which one the Dragon Bridge is. Excuse me, do you know which one the Dragon Bridge is?
Dragon Bridge? Yes,
Yeah.
the next one.
Oh, is it that one?
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Cheers. It is that one down there. I'm gonna go find him.
After reuniting with my two favourite Australians.
Hello.
I had that one beer I was promised, and then we decided an early night was the best idea, after my long day of travelling. Day 2 had a fuzzy start, but that's never stopped me before, so we took the funicular up to Ljubljana Castle, Ljubljanski grad, which has almost as much history as it does stairs. Don't worry, I wasn't scared.
Really wish I hadn't done that. My legs properly went to jelly filming that. I just looked straight down and went, ah!
I learned that the fortress tower has been used for centuries as a fire lookout, as it has a panoramic view of the old city. How the bell was rung would tell the residents below where the fire was. And fun fact, the person on watch had to periodically ring the bell once, just to confirm they hadn't fallen asleep on the job. I imagine being that close to the bell would keep you awake. The castle itself was built in the 11th century as a medieval fortress to defend against attacks from the surrounding Hungarian and Austrian forces. As a result, Brad's knowledge on the weaponry seemed strangely familiar.
That's a crossbow, extra damage to heavy armor, like knights and man-at-arms. Longbow, good against spearmen. Lighter armor.
There we go. Oh, not even the big sticks. I forgot the name for them. What is it? Here is a quilt that you wear to battle that is apparently as effective as metal armor. These were mainly worn by people of lower rank, so I think it's just something they told them. Because this is what the king would wear. Seems just like a quilt.
I think, if I'm gonna learn anything for real, I need a guide. This is Minka. She was the first Slovenian woman to reach the North Pole. So who better to take us on an adventure? She taught us about the history of Slovenia as a nation, the culture of the old town, the Stari Tree, and the dragons. But I'm gonna come back to those later. Slovenia was the only country in Europe to suffer under 3 totalitarian regimes in the 20th century. Fascists and Nazis during World War II and communists after, when it became part of Yugoslavia. Although, it's a common misconception that Yugoslavia was under Soviet rule. It was not. You're probably thinking of Slovakia, not Slovenia. See? Very different places.
All the Slavic nations joined the forces and they just... Did you pay for listen to my tour? Huh? Okay, so...
Unlike many places in Europe where a regime change meant tearing down the old to start again, the old town remains a centre of culture and commerce.
I don't want a bad shot. I want a good shot.
Many of its historic buildings were preserved and restored, including the market square, where for centuries farmers coming to town would sell their goods. Also, it proved to be the best place to meet non-family members. The young men looking to woo a potential partner would present them with a heart-shaped honey bread called pikacha. If their crush agreed to the relationship, she would keep the bread as a sign of their love and affection. And if their feelings weren't shared, well, I think Minka says it best.
If she adds that heart, it means I don't want to see you. Bye-bye, I eat your heart. Ciao.
It's absolutely savage. Minka's tour also provided samples of other Slovenian delicacies such as pumpkin oil and honey. And oh my god, the honey. You wouldn't associate Slovenia with honey, but it is some of the best fucking honey I've had in my entire life. Kind of ruined the whole wholesome vibe of the video there. Anyway, day 3 started bright and early at the train station, where buying tickets provided the perfect opportunity to test our Slovenian.
What's that? A card.
Not your card.
Some of us were better than others.
Want to go Frankfurt? Yeah. Does it stop anywhere on the way? That'd be good.
Our destination, Lake Bled. You may not know the name, but you have definitely seen it. It's a place like nowhere else. No powered boats are allowed in the lake, so the only way to get to Bled Island, in the middle, is by the traditional Plitna boat. Driven, piloted, rowed by Jegulj, who made it look effortless. What did require effort was filming on the move.
Water's warm, breezy.
Is it?
All I have to do is not drop the camera in the lake. Once on the island, you can ring the famous wishing bell inside the Church of Assumption, provided you survive all the steps. The story goes, if you're married and you ring the bell 3 times, your wish is granted. Now maybe it's because I'm not married and maybe I accidentally rang the bell 4 times.
So, I don't think I get a wish.
In fact, I think it punished me because Brad and Lily talked me into going on an alpine coaster.
For newcomers, I hate theme parks.
Which required a chairlift ride.
So, this is my first chairlift, and if I'm honest, I'm terrified. I really don't like this.
How you doing, Bleezeyboy?
I hate this.
You're looking good, mate.
Not okay.
And after this,
Wish I hadn't done that. No.
I never will again.
Wait, hold up. Look at my smile drop when I realise how high up I am.
You're going to tell me when to go, right?
Going downhill was a lot more fun. I had a stick to control my speed, pull back to brake, and push forward to accelerate. Gravity does the rest.
Holy shit.
And surprisingly, I didn't use the brake.
Hey, bud. Go.
And the photos turned out great. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
How cold do you reckon it is? It's only October.
Okay, hold on. Am I bleeding?
Brad and Lil continued their adventures north, and I headed back to Ljubljana, where I was determined to learn some Slovenian.
How do you say good morning in Slovenian?
Dobro jutro.
Dobro jutro.
Jutro.
Jutro. Okay, thank you.
My plan for the final day was to hike through Tivoli Park to the Cerkev Marzineja Obiskania, a church at the top of the hill that promised breathtaking views of the city. The weather had other plans. The misty morning provided a spooky atmosphere, like it wasn't just me and the church out there in the forest. It was something else. Never mind. Once I'd found the church and I totally hadn't gotten lost, I sat down to take in those breathtaking views. It wasn't all bad. I made a friend. Her name is Flika. Apparently in Slovenia you can't just take a dog home with you, so the rest of the day was spent wrapping up the last of my trip.
Time to send some postcards.
Can you imagine if I put those in a bin instead of a postbox?
That would be ridiculous. There we go.
My final moments in Ljubljana were spent at a cafe down by the river, reflecting on my trip. How something so scary had been so eye-opening, to learn about its history, culture and food.
Oh wow.
Holy shit. A hot chocolate here is literally just a mug of melted chocolate. Slovenia's the fucking best.
How do you pronounce that?
Strupli.
Strupli.
What's easier for you to say? Stupid. There you go. Enjoy.
Thank you so much. Ta-da! Bear sandwich.
By the way, Slovenian food, really good. I ate shark, I ate bear. Basically their entire cuisine is just top of the food chain. Slovenians are to be feared, man.
It's really good.
What's it called?
Burek jabolčni.
Burek.
Ja. Jabolčni.
Jabolčny.
Ja.
Thank you. Burek. It's like an apple pie, but if you rolled it up and just made it really good.
Now you're probably wondering, does this count as travelling solo? My answer, yes. I got on the plane by myself, which was a first, and once Brad and Lily continued their journey, I spent 30 hours in a country on my own, barely knowing enough language to order food. I'm a pretty anxious person, it's why I don't like being on my own. But I can't deny, when you're all alone, there's a certain peace that can't be replicated. It provides a chance to reflect on your journey, your experiences, and the awe-inspiring places that surround us. Yes, this is a surprisingly long monologue with no jokes in it, but the rest of my travel footage will be used in other videos, and I really wanted to show off just how beautiful Lake Bled is. I mean, just look at it. And that's where it clicked, the appeal of solo travel. There's no trick to it. It's a mindset. It's not about being lonely, it's about being free. Free to challenge and learn about yourself, shaking off who you were and being who you are, all while discovering a new place. I can see why people get addicted. So if you find yourself wondering, should I go it alone? My answer is now a resounding yeah. Srečno put, Pazi, nase, Paziti say, vozilo, zračni, blazini, jegulj. Nailed it. First take. Oh yeah, the dragons. Dragons have played a prominent role in Slovenian folklore, weaving their way into the fabric of the nation's stories and legends. But the Slovenian dragon is not your typical fire-breathing monster. Instead, it represents a guardian spirit, a symbol of strength, protection, and resilience, watching over the land. However,
I've been in Slovenia 3.5 days now, and despite some incredible stories, I haven't seen a single dragon. I don't think they exist.